right, DRX versus Team T5. Now, just to note, they do also have a Viper, so it's not like they're only running Omen. So T5 understands what's needed on Breeze, but the question is what more can Omen add? And when it comes to Omen, it's all about that paranoia. You spend 300 credits to get that one amazing skill that can win you duels, but you gotta be careful with when you use it. We'll have to keep an eye on that as T5 starts on defense.
Yeah, we have the round actually about to start here, and Team T5 looks like they're gonna try to creep up into hallway right now, and nobody's covering hall for the time being.
Yeah, so DRX, what's kind of something funny about DRX on attack is on attack they're very obsessed with hall, but then on defense they kind of just let it be. I mean, obviously usually they'll put a trademark or something there, but they're very different on attack versus defense. A little trade here. Val not able to get a kill, but Zest and Stacks are going to be powering through. Of course, they've already made it all the way through hall as well. Fantasy's crept into cave. They've kind of changed positions.
Yeah, we just saw Bagnam just get shot down there by Buzz. And it's just Redwater remaining here. You know, I don't think T5 did a terrible job back there, but ultimately every engagement pretty much went DRX's way. The spike is planned in Redwater. It's going to be impossible to win this, and so kind of see what you can get done.
Just how shallow is Fantasy's agent pool? He did play Astra once so far when they played on Bind against WGS.
Yeah, one of the issues is just Astra seems to be a better agent.
Well, overall, yes.
Yeah.
And even on Breeze, we've had some teams internationally try to make Astra work here. So as a secondary smoke, I mean, even that might have been better. The other thing is Redwater has been playing a lot of KO on the other maps. Of course, in their last match, to not great success, but he seems to have a good understanding of what that agent can offer. But today he is on Viper duty.
Well, Buzz mows down Redwater, and Bagnam dies shortly after that. It's just an easy B-site seizure here. Quietly over here by Arches. Round 3 here going to be the real test. They're going to be able to get Vandals and Phantoms. And especially on Breeze, you know, when you're fighting players that are working with Spectres, the Spectre does really have, I would say, a value drop-off the further away the shots are going to be.
Of course.
And so, you know, let's see what kind of ideas are going to be at play here for DRX. Maybe they want to try to avoid any, you know, open plays. I know most of this map is like that, but maybe try to take narrow course here. Maybe force a fight up in hall like we're seeing them set up.
Yep, so DRX going back to their bread and butter. Now there is a trademark. So, but Val also still covering it at the same time. He's going to be able to close that door back on his way out. So DRX, they just don't show themselves, and they're still able to go through. But
now it's just Buzz. Okay, drops one, but can't get another here. And so T5 takes that victory. And DRX is going to come in here, matching the kind of weaponry we saw in the last round. But again, on Breeze, you know, the 2 victories with the Spectres in hand, it's not actually an easy fight to take.
No, not at all. And quite frankly, this was a costly win for T5. I mean, and that they started by taking down 2 members in Hall, and yet they still end up dropping 3 rifles, like you said, on Breeze. So now to try to even it up, rather than kind of taking a back foot, they're buying the Guardian and the Bulldog to cover for that, and then you still only have half armor. You are playing a very risky game here against a team like DRX. You don't have an option because you dropped your rifles. You have to. But you have to take into account that this has made round 4 very difficult for T5.
With the round 3 victory, I think this is an almost even more important round here, since they did try to buy heavy and lean into the, you know, somewhat of an advantage that they've got for the time being. And so this is going to be a slow start here for DRX. No overextensions, playing a very quiet early round 4 here.
Yeah, and T5 very aware of the strengths and weaknesses on either side. You know it's DRX, and you know they have their rifles this time. Not giving any unnecessary long sight lengths. You've given up Paul. You're just watching it from spawn as Sova, just trying to keep that at bay. And then everyone in A has actually pushed up very far ahead. So even should that door open, the metal door open, you're able to regroup and actually maybe even push out through A main through the cave. Except for Redwater, they saw them trying to cross mid. Location spotted on either side, really. Bongnan trying to come through with that Lear. Zest
gets the drop on the red. Yeah, and then Mako fires back. And in the snap of fingers, there's just one player, now none. remaining a flawless victory as DRX asserts themselves once more. And, you know, I got to say, real patient setup there. Just enough utility, staggered out over there at the B site, leaving A pretty exposed, and a bit of a clumsy attempt at a retake here from T5 allows DRX to really start to put the pressure on here.
Yeah, and one thing I want to note about this DRX here in 2022 is Buzz with the what's going on, yeah. But DRX, the reason that DRX is so scary right now is they're used to being on top in Korea. Not always, but they're used to it. But the problem when they were used to it is, you know, they would sometimes just win by just simply pure aim, you know, some trades, some hero plays, and, you know, they wouldn't think much of it. It would just be another day for DRX. But this season, what we're seeing is they don't take any chances. Even in that one, you set up the toxic screen on B, and then you wait to see if they really took the bait.
Oh, my God.
No, Fantasy?
This is what my games look like. Here, but this is a real gauntlet of defense to try to navigate. They could just set up 4 exit frags. I think that's, you know, a realistic play. But it's going to be a 4th win now for DRX.
Yeah, and just this is what I'm talking about. Look at the positioning of DRX. Not taking any chances. You've got one on window, watching all the way in attacker's spawn. You got one watching elbow. And then you have 2 inside, making sure they cover, and he catches Val as well. So moves, all you can hope for is a pick here. He gets one. He wants them to peek out, but Mako gets it.
Yeah. So, you know, a strong showing here from DRX. And, you know, there's not going to be that many opportunities if T5 can't take maybe this round or the next one or something here, because we're
for the retake.
Counter toxic screen set up over here.
Yep, you know one's on the left.
Yeah, and so they can just isolate that. Mako gets the kill down there, knowing there's going to be one more up here, and immediately Bangnam fights back, getting the kill there onto Buzz.
Still alive.
Whoa!
And the Hunter's Fury. This is simply buying time for Bangnam, but he's not able to utilize the Empress afterwards.
Okay, well, they just now, have gotten the spike planted over here. Fantasy going to come around the corner, gets the jump onto RB, continues to fight back over here. Going to have to reload.
Oh, and Fantasy is able to close it out. Now, he can't believe it. He's like,
where's the spike?
But this was a round where the paranoia provided so much value, and this is what I'm talking about. With the Omen, you live or die by your paranoia, as you would know, as another, to stop the bleeding just this one time. And now T5 has the understanding we need to win this next one. So it's a bit of an overbuy, but you get the op, and you try to make whatever advantage you can. On the other side, Buzz has his own with the tour de force.
Okay, they've gathered up over here into mid. And they may actually try to come in here under doors.
He's going to have to step away from the rear.
Buzz has got... Wow, beautiful shot there for Bangnam. Vandal ends up beating the tour de force.
I mean, I'm telling you, Bangnan is a treasure here. Val gets one of his own as well. And Redwater goes for the trade. I mean, at this point, you already took down 2, so the 1-to-1 trade isn't so bad. Bangnan pushes out for another one.
Zest coming up here. Val peeks and is shot down. Blink of an eye. Spike still in hand, not able to come up with anything. Bangnam with another shutdown.
Now, DRX, they've been heavily focusing on mid. They just kind of leave A open with a trademark there. I think they just wanted to play it as safely as possible, just playing that default and waiting for T5 to push out. Now that T5 has struck back, you see them playing with a little bit more of an agenda right off the bat rather than just waiting for picks in mid.
A check over here in the hall from the defender's side. Confirms nobody's there. They're going to go with a pretty standard toxic screen over here to slice open the corner of A as they try to move in here and get a plant. Buzz goes down.
Val tried to go for the smoke shot, but he gets taken out. Now, the paranoia held them off for just a bit, but the Viper's pit is up. Now, okay, trying to just get into sight with your own. Now, it doesn't cover entirely the same area.
Buzz, again, with another kill over here, pulls back. Stacks is eventually dropped there by Redwater. This is chaos right now with 2 Viper's pits here. RB finally gets that kill there onto Red. You get the kill and then you get the gun. Sometimes you have these duels at huge distances.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's one of the dangers is that even on Eco, you really want to convert it to a gun upgrade, but you're not able to. Val gets the information, doesn't get the kill, but he also doesn't take any hits. He does chip away at Zest just a tad bit. DRX back to just scouting out mid. And the thing is T5 now having to play scared. I mean, they don't have too much else they can commit to mid. And that allows Zest to get full cover of how much damage can you do on the retake. You know, you take away a couple rifles, or if you're able to steal a couple rifles and save it, that wouldn't be too bad.
Okay, Stack's going to go ahead and plant here. As the screen goes down, it looks like RB is just massacring here. Only Fantasy remains here. Even he dies a few moments later there. Mako with the kill, 6-3. But again, an expected victory here for DRX. I think they should be able to buy in, you know, with more weapon, you know, something more relevant here.
For T5, absolutely. And they need it. Again, I like that it hurts to see it have to happen this way, but I like the cover, though. He goes for the trade. He is spotted.
Whoa. I can't believe that. Stacks is just completely out of this world, man.
I mean, Stacks getting Bao is one thing, but being able to turn back and getting Bogdan hurts T5 a lot.
Oh, man. Buzz takes out moves. Redwater stuck over here by wooden doors. It is cleaned up, easy peasy, 7-3. You know, it's not just the scores anymore, guys, that are telling about, you know, where these two teams are at skill. It's actually the time each round is taking at this point.
Yeah.
Things are going really fast.
Well, the thing is I was about to say before that round really spiraled out of control is because of how DRX is played, you know, they spend a lot of time in, and then they just all rush in as 5. That's forced Val to put down his trade attention from Mako. Fantasy has a chance here. Oh, doesn't get the kill, though.
His reaction time is just too good.
There's a reason why he is the key player here for DRX. But Buzz, he's catching up in those stats, man.
Flawless victory there. I mean, they are so comfortably coming into A, but yeah, especially when it comes to Vandals and Sheriffs, DRX is just untouchable, man. I mean, they're just taking these shots so easily. If the enemy's in the open, they will get the shot.
And the important thing to look back on DRX is it's easy to look at the scores and be like, oh yeah, DRX is just better, they're just better. But the other thing is DRX hasn't really been forced by any team to show more of their playbook, even just on Breeze and Ascent. It's one thing to not show any more maps, but the fact that they just constantly push halls, take over, and then pinch on A. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Yeah, they did the B fake once, and then they pushed into B once this map, which is like more than the other matches they played.
Right.
But for all the other teams that want to prep against DRX, you're like, well, geez, like, we know they do this, but what else do we have to be afraid of? Like, how else do we change up our default or our setup or maybe even our composition to combat this?
All right, Bogdan gets the kill there on Zast, backs up over here into A lobby.
Now, DRX has to respect this. He's got the Empress, and it's Bogdan.
Oh, moves, taking out Buzz. Ball.
Yeah, I mean, you see their default. It's either halls or 3 in mid. It's either halls or 3 in mid. And from then on, it's always just A. You go B once a map. And it's just like, well, what else do you prepare for? How? And the other thing is we haven't really seen what it looks like to force them to change. That last round was the only one. And quite frankly, it was a high-risk, high-reward play from Bogdan that made it work. Now in the second half, of course, we have T5. T5 is on attack, by the way, so the UI just a little bit behind the times, but I'm sure it'll catch up.
Yeah. And they're going to do a very quiet move into A here. They've got a double stack over here into mid, although Val doesn't see anything just yet.
Well, Val needs to watch out. He's now realized they've already pushed out of B, so he's kind of caught in the middle. He needs to get a kill here.
Okay, Val does it.
He gets one.
He's gone. Zest is going to come around the corner here. Val needs to win this duel as well. Shock bolt connects. Zest is so good.
But it was a good call from Val as well. He knew the shock bolt was coming, so he goes for the trade. Doesn't get the kill, but Zest is very low now. This retake looking quite difficult for DRX. Correctly, that DRX has more in their pocket.
Right.
They're not a one-tool team.
Okay. This will be extremely difficult here for DRX. Just this pistol round here. Buzz pulls back. Only 15 HP here.
That's a miracle he still stayed alive.
It's kind of shocking. He actually got back out of there, but this will be an easy B-side plant. And, you know, we're just going to wait for the rest of the team to come up here, and they'll do an attempted retake.
Well, you saw how far back Buzz had to be pushed out. You have to push out one way or the other. Oh, he's going to realize his mistake as soon as he sees two. He's like, wait, there's way more on the flank. He gets the call. One trademark broken. You'll see the other one.
He's nabbed the Spectre.
As soon as you see, okay, the other trademark gets pushed out, you have to push the spawn. You have to take care of Buzz. That's the only way you continue to maintain control of the site from one half.
Shots fired in here. And a good flank from Fantasy. Get the jump on him and a spray down. Fantasy cleans up 6 to 8. What is going on?
Wow. I actually I can't. I can't believe it. Listen, it starts to sound like a meme, but I legitimately didn't think T5 could take more than 3 to 4 rounds, just given what we've seen from DRX so far.
I mean, they're doing a lot more than just treading water right now. This is very cool. Now, DRX likely to take this next one. This is going to have Phantoms and Vandals.
But this was a good call. Pushing out as soon as you see that trademark broken, you realize, okay, well, there's way more. Like, everyone's coming from the flank. And then Fantasy, moves is weak, Redwater is weak, but Bogdan has a Vandal. You cannot let him start to pop off on Reyna again.
Okay, Spike is down.
Bogdan's going to see Mako in mid. Bogdan gets one. He's going to get that overheal.
This is so crazy.
Bogdan making the right call to come back into the site. You didn't have a good setup to protect from double doors, and now DRX, you have to save. I mean, if you lose this, it starts to spiral out of control.
Yeah, they've got to do what they can and just carry these guns into the next round.
I love this from T5. You have some members that are still carrying over their bonus guns, so they're on the hunt.
Going on the hunt, yeah.
Yep, Fantasy, you've only got that Spectre. You might as well. Oh, he's going to check mid first just to make sure no one's trying to come up behind him.
And they are going to be lurking over here in Hall.
Yep, both of them just chilling out in Hall. Now, Halls is it's a little scary to go in for the hunt, right? It's so crowded.
Well, yeah,
so.
I mean, Vandal versus Spectre as well. I mean, that's just not a favorable fight. And so it's 7 to 8, man. And again, this next round here is also going to be a straining one here for DRX.
Well, I think part of the, and not to take away from T5's victories, I think they're very good, but part of the consideration for DRX here is, okay, well, listen, we only need like X amount of wins, for one, to make it into the playoffs, but two, even to take the top 2 spots and get that bye in the playoffs and the bracket.
Right.
So how much do we really want to show against T5 early on in the stage when we have to play every other? They just, you know, sometimes
it's a funny thing.
Yeah, you see the trademark there, it gets erased, and they're just like, okay, I mean, they still haven't moved through. They're just so confident in how they're able to rotate back. Now you see Buzz covering it from spawn.
Well, Buzz likes to take this very retracted angle, like right here, where you could basically get them as their backs are facing you, turning into a heaven here.
And this is the danger if you let it go too free. I mean, as soon as you hear that door open, Zest had to have taken a better position, but there's no cover from spawn, so he's stuck next to the pyramid.
Bogdan, dude, Rex, Buzz.
Yep, and I'm early today. And he's like, well, yeah, it's Sunday. We got to go home early today. But so far, it's not looking like it's Zest.
So far.
My soap opera, my K-drama at 9 p.m. is waiting for me.
That's right, man. This is laundry day for me. There's going to be laundry not done as soon as I thought. RB.
All right, he strikes
says, hold on, Tasteless. You're going to get your clothes clean. Calm down. All right. So they're going to get in onto A once more. Double Viper walls.
Yeah,
and they can plant on just the edge here. Oh, Buzz!
Buzz with the angle, and he just wipes him out on that entry. And T5, they got a little shaken up from the op, right? You lost one member on the B side. You didn't really know what else to do. It was only one there for the lurk, and you just make the call to run in, and DRX is like, well, the op pushed out far, and we only saw one, so all we have to do is wait in A. So pretty straightforward defense for DRX. But T5, I mean, listen, the other rounds they played very patiently. They just need to regroup just a bit.
Going into round 18 here, we do have an op purchase here from RB.
Yep, keeping that going every round.
Yeah, and looks like it's going to be a peek actually down here through the elbow. So
it's the same angle. Yeah, so they're ready for it this time. The snake bite just to keep him at bay. But that's still, it was on KO. And then on day 3, he just completely bottom frags. He's just not able to find a kill, even on like stationary targets. He's shaken up. The nerves get to him, and then now he's back, taking on that reign again as kind of the captain of the team. Oh, they want this op out of RB's hands. They need to take it down. They don't even lose anyone in the process.
That is crazy, dude. 9-9. What is going on?
Something has happened to T5.
T5 is so on fire, or maybe, I don't know. Was there some arrogance here from DRX? Were they maybe a little bit overconfident?
Well, I do think that they weren't expecting to ever have to do something different here in this map. At the same time, T5, I mean, you can hear it in their comms. They are shouting everything out as clearly as possible. And listen, Redwater's got some reps in other FPS titles here in Korea as well. He wasn't always at the top, but he was always making the playoffs. He was making the brackets. In fact, under the T5 brand for a little bit. So he's got some experience, and for him to come back and be able to lead this team is very important for T5.
Down here at B, well, looks like they may be trying to push into this area. A very slow start here for T5, which is, I think, completely fine. Let the clock run. Let them spam out some more utility. They're going to creep in here, and B is a pretty open area. They have this cool angle with the sky over here, where Stacks can basically hit them if they wrap around B elbow and try to come in through mid. But I don't know that they're actually going to go there, so that position might not actually be helpful. And now it's going to be Buzz.
He hits the shot right before he rendezvous out. He clears the Lear as well. I mean, just such good patience. And he keeps that true. Now, Val was spotted earlier by Mako. Oh, Moose wants to take this op out of his hands. But Zest is there for backup.
Good play, good play. Keeping that head down there behind the wood. So, excellent round here.
DRX, they bring it back. That T5's still. I mean, listen, they've already taken the most rounds away from DRX.
I think they've technically won our tournament already. Am I right? Like,
you know what's crazy is they've actually taken the most rounds away from DRX in a match so far by simply taking 9 rounds in one match.
Isn't that insane?
That's how crazy DRX was in their first 2 matches.
But, you know, this is so close that, honestly, T5 has absolutely still got a chance of winning this.
This is what we've been telling everyone that's watching is, while DRX still seems so far ahead of most of the teams in Korea, the second-tier teams or the new teams, the amateur teams, have been slowly creeping up. They've slowly been learning and watching, international Valorant, even DRX's play, Damwon Kia's play, and they're taking on what it, needs to be done here to start to grow as a team in Valorant.
Ooh, Hunter's Fury coming down here. Not quite able to thread that needle. No kills there.
Yep, no tags either. I believe Redwater simply taking some chip from the snake bite.
Yeah, I don't think he touched a single target there.
Yeah, so now you're kind of questioning it. Yep, he's going to go for the recon bolt to make sure. And Zest's recon bolts and his timings have been on point. Coming back from his wrist injury, he's simply upgraded.
Buzz is still here at a pretty tight angle in case they try to wrap in to be back.
Stacks has pushed out so far into A main. He can view the entire A main area. Now Viper's Pit. You hear some spam. Val. Oh, and the tag.
That was so perfect. Okay. I'd like to introduce you guys to Chobra, my Viper main co-host, who is trying to tell me about how hard it is.
Viper's Pit is you have to choose so many different corners to sit in.
That's right. You're like, am I going to have a judge or a Bucky where I'm going to sit in the corner? And
you choose the wrong corner and you lose the entire ult, man.
That's true.
It's important.
In all seriousness, though, that's that Sova play to identify.
Oh, well, yeah.
It was so sick, dude.
And the timing and Buzz being prepared for it, and then getting the second one onto Val as well, just combined for shutting down that entry into B. So now, I mean, T5, they've done so well up to this point. You've got the Empress. So once again, you get a kill, and you could do it, but Buzz, we just missed it, but Buzz peeks out, just does a drive-by rendezvous kill. Oh, good paranoia, clears out stairs for now, but and they get Buzz. Now they know the op is in mid.
Oh.
A little too late where they can buy a second op, and since then, they have kept it all through and through. So DRX sitting pretty happily right now. Val has to rely on his headhunter to do any sort of damage, just sitting on the classic. Of course, that is one of the advantages of Chamber. All right, well, they kind of force each other out.
Okay, now that Stacks position over here in middle is going to be pretty handy as they try to wrap around. Oh, no, hold on. He's actually moved further down.
Well, yeah, he's up by the pillar, but on the other side, it's RB covering his back as well. Zest gets one. He tagged. All right, he knows there's more. Oh, and Moves wanted to get the kill on the repeat, not able to connect. Redwater is the important thing here. Well, okay, well, if Buzz shuts them down before they even get into the site.
Yeah.
Redwater can't do much.
Wow, whiffs that shot here by RB, but Stacks comes
in
from behind. That position is such a good one to try to hold.
And then RB's still covering his back. This is just perfect play. Stacks and RB take over the entire mid on their own.
But it was a close game.
It was.
The victory there at the end, look, we expected that. The closeness of the rounds inside of the game itself, that's, I think, the real plot twist of the evening so far, is that DRX had to work, and harder than we've seen them in this season, to come out there victorious. And look, T5, I mean, I would say they're at the bottom of the totem pole as far as notoriety here in the